Yeah, part of a few fall camps, but
Yeah.
how does this one feel different day one?
Well, obviously, being the head coach, it makes it feel a lot different. It's real now. We've worked really hard throughout winter, spring, and obviously just finished up with our summer training. So seeing these guys play actual football was really, really fun. It's a great group of guys, and they really worked their butts off.
Just talk about the energy that you saw. I know you just touched on it a little bit, but right away, I mean, high fives, yelling, 9:30 a.m. Just kind of talk about that energy coming into today.
Yeah, one thing we talk a lot about here is we can control two things, right? Our effort and our attitude. And I think what you saw today is our guys really controlling that for the better. I think they're just excited to be back. I think they're tired of lifting weights and running. They just want to play football. And so today I think you got to see some of that energy. A lot of these guys have worked extremely hard, all the way since January. And so for them to actually get out here and practice for something that really matters is, I think, is really special for these guys.
What were you most impressed by today?
I think I was most impressed with just how sharp everyone was. It was a lot different than practice one in spring ball when you're installing brand new systems. Now that these guys have a little bit of reps to them, I think it looked a lot cleaner from an operational standpoint. And then we did a lot better job staying off the ground. We talk about practicing like pros. You can't practice like a pro if you're on the ground. And I thought our guys did a really nice job for day one, so I don't want to jinx them for day two.
Is there any sort of, I know it's still weeks out, but is there any specific focus on WCU in the first game, or are we still kind of getting our feet wet just first game?
I think we're working on our stuff. We really want to focus on us with kind of the idea in mind of some of the things we'd like to do against the Cougs. So it's kind of a blend of both, but for the most part, I'd say we're really focused on us.
Josh, you're second starter in the quarterback room, but how did he look, and how did your other quarterbacks look today?
I thought that room looked pretty good. Joshua did a really nice job. I thought in our first team session, our second team session, I thought the quarterbacks overall struggled a little bit in 7-on-7. That's really an offensive drill. And in my opinion, being an offensive guy should never be a ball on the ground. And so we threw the ball to the defense too many times. But it speaks to our defense too. Those guys are flying around. They're in the right spot and making plays on the football. So overall with the quarterbacks, I thought it was a good day, but still a lot of room to improve.
And B is running as your third quarterback now?
Yeah, but I mean, it's
how in flux is all?
There's a battle, right? I think obviously Joshua's got to continue to do it, but he's looked really good. I believe he'll be our starter. But who that number 2, number 3, number 4 guys are, it's still up for grabs. We really want to find out who's going to be those next guys, because anyone that's followed the Vandals knows how quickly you can be on number 4.
Is there a particular position group that's kind of stood out to you today?
Linebackers. Those guys were flying around. Dylan Lane kind of leading the charge there. Will Cornelson. Isaiah King is a little bit limited reps right now, but even him, just his effort was really good. But that group really stood out to me as flying around today.
Obviously, defense cohesively kind of has a leg up when you are settling in like this. At what point do you need to see those kind of even out with the offense?
Yeah, I think sooner the better. Like you said, it's a little bit easier to play defense in the day 1, day 2, day 3 installs, because even if you're wrong, you can fly around and make plays. But we certainly want to see the offense continue to make strides and have it be really more even, kind of back and forth the rest of fall camp.
Cortez Menjivar looked like he didn't let off at all from spring. Like he had a pretty good day.
Yeah, he had a really good day as well. Made some plays down the field. He's a very, very talented young man. And so we were really looking forward to him stepping up this year and into a more of a number 1, number 2 type of role. If he does everything correctly, I have no doubt he can catch 60-plus balls this season.
So a timeline on Isaiah when you expect him to be back in the practice field?
He's gonna be rolling. We're gonna be real smart with Isaiah. He's a phenomenal player that's played a lot of snaps, so we're not extremely worried about him getting a ton of reps during training camp. We just want to get him the right amount of reps and really not a rep more.
Getting Cox back, that must feel good to have him back on the field actually.
Yeah, Jake Cox, most experienced tight end on our roster. He's another guy that's played a lot of football. Obviously missed most of the season last year, but he's a playmaker, and today I thought showed that. He gets out there and makes plays every time he steps on the field, and having him back, I think, is going to be really, really beneficial for our offense moving forward.
Here you have your debut, your big league debut coming up soon.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Can you tell us about what we can expect to see from you?
From my end, I'm just excited to be a part of something like that. I'm a guy that's grew up in Seattle. I've watched the Mariners my whole life, and so to getting out there on Sunday throwing that first pitch going to be special. I've been working though. I've been working that thing out now, so I feel pretty good about it. But I'm just expecting to get the ball across the plate. If I dirt the thing, I might not show my face around for a while.
Point that opposite shoulder.
That's right, exactly right.
Are there any players today who impressed you from a leadership perspective?
Oh gosh, probably too many to talk about, but obviously Nate as a party has been a great leader for us just the whole time. We talked about Dylan Lane a little bit, but he's really leading the charge defensively. There's some other offensive linemen I think have really stepped up. Leighton Vining, Keegan Henson being two that really come to mind. But I think this leadership of this group is really probably one of our strongest points of this roster. Is we just have a lot of guys that have played a lot of guys that know what it takes to make a playoff run. And so I think leadership is going to be something that's going to really help us down the road for sure.
The ones we watched today on both offense and defense, are they pretty set? Or is
No, I mean, nothing's ever said. I mean, it's like we tell our guys, essentially fall camp tells us who walks out there first week one. What you do the rest of the way tells us who walks out first the rest of the games. I'm not really a believer in, hey, this is who starts for us after fall camp and there's not a lot of wiggle room. I want to compete the whole year. So I think you're getting a good idea of some of the faces that have really worked and earned those opportunities, but I think you'll see a lot of movement in that first group throughout fall camp for sure.
One more question for Coach.
Well, fall camp seems to mark like an exciting next chapter in your first year. What was your feeling waking up this morning and getting to the office?
God, about all the work I had to get done. Just excitement. I'm so proud to be a Vandal. This is a very special place to myself and my family, and just being able to be at the head of the program now is very special. And so I think I woke up today just truly blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Coach.